All right, so we are back. We are on step three right now of the six habits to power up your day. The six things that successful people do each morning in the very first 2 hours before they check their email or Facebook. Now, we're very specific. Not all of these are going to fit into your plan, but the most that you do, and I'm going to talk about this just a second again, are the best. But today we're going to talk about energizing your routine. Let's review. What we saw in step one was getting ready for success. We set up our alarm a little bit earlier, we go to bed a little bit earlier, we open the curtains so that the light in our room is something that happens gradually and we don't get shocked in our eyes when we open the curtains. We drink a glass of water, we exercise for 15 minutes, and we start our day with a green smoothie or something like that that's healthy. We can even add some protein to it. We talked about that. Now, on step two, we talked about feeding our soul. We talked about the 8 things that we want to do when we feed our soul, and that is to read or listen a book or a podcast, practice gratitude, use relevant affirmations, ask a meaningful question of the day, practice visualization, do your planning away from the computer, center yourself internally, and making family part of your morning routine. Today, we're going to talk about putting together your energizing routine. All right, ready? Let's talk about that. Here we go, putting together your energizing routine. It's important to remember, however, that one size does not fit all. Okay, let's keep that in mind because I don't want you to be overwhelmed or stressed trying to put all these different strategies together. Some of them are going to make more sense to you, some are not, but you're going to eventually, little by little, get used to them. Now, what they're going to help you do is they're going to help you get centered, they're going to help you to distress, they're going to help you to power up your day and to be present in your day. Now, anything different works for different people, right? So the key is to simplify those first 2 hours down to what doesn't drain you or distract you, or what produces maximum energy, confidence, and focus for you. If you find that 10 minutes playing Candy Crush sets you up better than an hour of meditation, by all means do it. But if you find that Candy Crush takes you away for 2 hours, that is the wrong thing, and that's the habit that we need to cut. All right, so let's get on with this. Consider the top producers, a name in Ashton Kittler's study, which we talked about earlier. If we check it out, you'll find that the morning routine among these product entrepreneurs and visionaries are widely different. But I'll explain a little bit on each one of them, why they're different and how is it that they operate. And maybe some of these you can adjust to yourself. Here's Tim Cook's Apple CEO, likes to check his email first. Now, I did read, and I actually adopted this on myself. And I will tell you that it is great feeling and refreshing to get up in the morning. No, has been one of my routines. I get a cup of coffee, and sometimes I drink a green smoothie. But I go to my computer, power it up. It's usually around 4:30 in the morning, and I start looking at the emails. And I made a list of things to do the day before, and pretty much I start firing emails. I know exactly what Tim Cook says because he fires out a whole bunch of emails. Then he goes to his bike rides, he spends time with the family. But by the time he comes back and gets ready back into the office, now the rest of the world is responding to him. He's no longer in reactive mode. The world is responding to him, to his needs, to his desires, to the things, the ones that he needs to accomplish for that day. So everybody's rushing to answer Tim. Now he's there receiving all this data, able to analyze what the next move is going to be. It's a very, very good thing to do if you're able to do that. If you can't, then we need to adjust and do those things that are going to power up your day a lot better. Again, here's Robert Iker. Not only does he check his email, but he also reads the newspaper and surfs the web. Now, who else reads newspapers first thing in the morning? Warren Buffett, one of the richest men in the world. He reads 10 newspapers before he goes to the local watering hole to get his breakfast. He does. He reads 10 newspapers before breakfast. Right? That is his routine. Now, Arianna Huffington, the co-founder and editor-in-chief of Huffington Post, starts her day with yoga and meditation. And Craig's List founder, Craig Newborn, likes to take care of customer complaints straight away. So you see, everybody has a little bit of a different routine on what it is that they do to get their day energized and get their day moving. Now, if you don't know where to start, okay, and when you're concocting your perfect energizing morning routine, start with the 6 essentials. The 6 essentials are super important. We've gone through them. Set your the alarm clock earlier than usual. Go to bed earlier the next day. Open the curtains so that the light comes in gradually into your room. Remember to drink a glass of water, doing that the very first thing. Exercise, and then the most important one of them all is feed your soul and create a center for yourself. Stop the noise and do something that brings you into contact with your family and your soul center. Everything else you can play around with. Adding up to distracting as you desire. Come get up a little earlier, 5 minutes. I don't say, jump half an hour, 5 minutes. 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Eventually, your routines will change. Your exercise can start with just a few, just a few things, and eventually it can turn out into a whole gym experience or bike riding or walking for a prolonged period of time. But, start everything started small, but these are the things that are going to energize your routines. All right. So tomorrow we're going to talk about step 4, which is avoiding the energy wipers. Those are very, very important because you got to. Sometimes, as Steve Jobs used to say, and even Warren Buffett says, sometimes it is more important what we don't focus on than what we do focus on. So let's review. All right. So here, step 3 was was putting together your energizing your routine and keeping your essentials in focus, setting up your alarm earlier than usual, getting up earlier the next day, open the curtains, drink a glass of water first thing in the morning, feed your soul, and spend some time with your family, which is very, very important. Folks, that was step 3. How to energize your routines. Go over it, review it, make a plan. Remember, step away from your computer, grab a notepad, and then just go through those things that you got to. And tomorrow we're going to talk about avoiding the energy wipers.